It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome. I'm Jeff Grubauer for GamesBeat.com. I'll be playing the Dartmoor stage in Hitman 3, and what I want to do is I want to show all the different ways that you can do the murder mystery. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take over that guy back there that's talking to those guards. He is Phineas Whitmer. He is the gentleman detective. He is the Poirot character. I can't say that name from Agatha Christie novels. He's Daniel Craig, basically. He's, you know, that's the modern example. He is Murder, She Wrote. Come here, get those coins, get those coins. Now come in here, I got something to tell you. Shh, 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 shh. Go to sleep. An important thing when you're doing this mission is you see the camera icon there on the mini-map, way down there. Way down there in the bottom corner, there's a camera icon. That means there's something you can scan. This is important. These are clues that help with the case when you're trying to solve the case, solve the mystery. Also, just like Knives Out, you'll find baseballs just laying outside the mansion.
Loaded with conflict, unsaid fears in his eyes.
So while he's doing that, let's go get another picture. Right here. Scan this man. You can look at the intel. That's a portrait of Montgomery Carlyle, Madame Carlyle's late older brother. Thought it was somebody's kid, but there's a grown man back there. All right, let's get him. Let's drag him here. Let's dump him. Dump!
If you're dressed like a detective,
Now we're dressed like a detective, and now we're gonna act like a
I
detective.
suggest you go talk to the butler.
So let us do as the lady suggests and go talk to the butler. So we're gonna go look at, now we're gonna go look at the crime scene. Now that there has been a real murder, they invite, like, because the Madame Carlyle suspects foul play. We're gonna go in the room, take a look, and we're gonna actually try to solve it for her. But you know, we're not here really to solve it. We're here to murder her. So we'll use this against her in a multitude of different ways. There are a lot of ways to use this against her. So we got a lot of intel there. Zachary's bedroom, we got 6 out of 6 clues. We found, you know, his body, the time of death, 10 p.m., throat markings. He was killed by a rare plant-based poison. Now we know Zachary, I said Edward earlier, Zachary. We know Zachary was super into plants. Like, that's why there's a greenhouse out back, and he's been a recluse, super into plants for like many years. There's the whiskey glass and bottle found on his bed. So, you know, someone could have poisoned that, right? Right. These are opportunity, you know, means, motive, opportunity. This is an opportunity for someone to poison him. Not proof, but we can get there. Zachary's suicide note. So he wrote this suicide note allegedly, and, you know, explained why he was leaving. I am haunted by horrible past choices, and they're all consuming consequences. Alexa was the raft keeping me afloat. Without her, I cannot go on. Goodbye. So he says basically in this note that because my sister's dead, you know, she faked her death. He thought she was dead. I'm committing suicide. The laptop, he was shopping for new boots. Something someone probably wouldn't do if they were going to commit suicide. And, you know, at least in these kinds of stories. And then we found a secret passage. So we know for a fact that someone could have gotten into this room. There is a passage in here, and then the door could have remained locked from the inside. So a lot of stuff to consider here. And then there's a mansion floor plan. Someone could have used this and known about the secret passage.
He's prepared.
So now we're going to go talk to the butler. He's going to give us a bunch of information, and now we're going to get a chance to really investigate the crime. We've investigated the crime scene. Now we're going to talk to people. We're going to look at everything, and we're going to get all the stuff we need to fully understand who did this. And, you know, you can see how it's how they designed this to really give you multiple means to get to your target. But they also give you the means to solve the crime if you so choose. So he doesn't have an alibi. Mr. Fernsby doesn't have an alibi. He's alone by himself in the office, but he's providing me all this material. He also seems very frustrated. Okay. Oh, damn it, that stupid button on my controller. So we could talk to a bunch of people around the house. I think we're gonna talk to this shithead right here. This is Patrick Carlyle. He is, I believe he's the son of, we'll get to it. Let's take a look here. the son of Emma and Gregory.
I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. So, is that it?
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexia used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him. Then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. If that's all, I think I'll get back to...
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary tops himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
So what do we know about Patrick Carlisle? He is the son of Emma and Gregory. He says he was with Rosie, who is a staff member at this mansion. So maybe we can go talk to the staff and ask the staff and see if they can corroborate that. So I'm talking to Rosie. We just heard about her from Patrick.
I spent the evening with Patrick. We met after dinner and I went home at 1 in the morning. He said he needed someone real to talk to. When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure.
He's an idiot. That's what he is.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any strangers outside the house?
No, we saw no one outside. Except Patrick's mother, Emma. We were sitting on the bench behind the greenhouse talking when she came out and, we had to hide. You won't tell her about me and Patrick, will you? She'd insist Madame Carlisle fire me. I'm sure of it.
Too right she will. She's always going on about how things will change once she's in charge of Thornbridge Manor.
Okay, so Rosie confirms that she was with Patrick. So we're going to look at our intel. Alibi confirmed it was not Patrick who killed Zachary. Zachary couldn't kill anybody, not due to a lack of violence, but because he is completely incompetent and just ineffective at everything in his life.
Professor Edward Carlisle.
Yeah, Edward Carlisle, there we
Tell
go.
me your whereabouts for last night.
My brother Gregory came along for
So Edward's going to tell us that he was drinking with Gregory because they went to like an inn in town because Edward doesn't like to stay here because he's afraid of his mother and afraid of his family or whatever. He's also a fucking, you're supposed to like, the writing in this game is very good because they like, oh, this guy, oh, he hates the idea of having to give a eulogy for his dead mother, especially now that his mother like has come back and faked her death, and now she's going to be listening to the eulogy he's going to have to give, and she's still making him give it. It's like, oh, he's in such a poor situation. If you listen to this guy while he's like walking around the room, he goes and he calls like an ex-girlfriend that has clearly told him to stop calling her. And he's like, oh, I'm in such a bad situation. I hate my family here. Oh, I know I'm not supposed to call you. I'll stop calling you. I promise. This is the last time. And then he leaves. And then he comes back and he calls her again and leaves a new message. And if you go to the messaging machine upstairs, that woman has called his mother and completely like complains about him over and over for violating his what is it called, a restraining order. So yeah, he's a piece of shit as well. No one in this family deserves to be alive. So here's Gregory.
Gregory Carlisle. Can you tell me where you were?
We're going to see if he can confirm Edward's alibi, which would also give him an alibi.
Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30.
The other PC.
For a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Is that all?
Tell me.
So, Gregory and Edward, they couldn't have done it. They left when he was alive. The poison is a fast-acting poison, so it's not like they could have poisoned him and then left. He was likely drinking from his whiskey bottle all night, and then, someone had to go in there, and if they did murder him, if he didn't commit suicide, they would have to go in there and poison it while he was in the room. So there's Emma. This is Gregory's wife. Let's go talk to her. We just heard about her. She was sporting one of her headaches.
Can you tell me where you were?
So she was still here when
Surely
Zachary
I'm not
died.
a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Is that all?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Anything else you want?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
So she's saying that she thought he was depressed. So that's the first time we're hearing that. But you know, it's possible. That definitely looks like a suicide. But you know, we're gonna have a hard time proving her alibi, right? Because she was here by herself. Her husband wasn't here. Maybe there's someone else that saw her. So we'll see. Rebecca. We'll talk to Rebecca.
Can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room.
So if she's telling the truth there, she was on her laptop from 9 until 11 p.m., which is the time that the range of death. She would not have been able to do it if she really was on a conference call. But that's like, how do we prove that?
Her hands on Thornbridge Manor. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer?
All right, so that's very interesting. So Emma says he was depressed, but Rebecca says that he was asking about a friend writing a book, but he doesn't have any friends. He's a recluse. He lives here alone. So clearly he was asking about that for himself, but he was just too embarrassed to admit it. So he was trying to get a book published. So I think it's like a really key thing, right? He probably didn't kill himself. We saw him shopping for boots, and he was asking about publishing a book. So I think there's the reasons to like continue looking around and see what else we can find here. Okay, so we can see on the minimap there's a camera thing here, so there's something we can scan. And it's these documents here. Let's take a look. Rebecca Carlisle's notebook. Key thing here is like we're trying to see if we can match the handwriting to any of the other people, because if the handwriting matches, that means that Zachary didn't write his own suicide note. But the handwriting does not match Zachary's suicide note. Then let's check her laptop. She says she was at a meeting from 9 to 11. 9 to midnight.
I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
Okay. Let's take a look here. Intel. So we've eliminated a lot of people. Dipshit was talking to the girl. She was in a conference call. They were drinking at the pub. Now, did he commit suicide? That's still possible. Emma doesn't have an alibi. Fernsby doesn't have an alibi. That, you know, clearly we should go check out Emma's room. So let's look around Emma's room, see what we can find. Again, there's another picture thing. We'll get to that in a second. Greenhouse keychain.
A keychain pendant for the greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key
key's missing? So we have the greenhouse keychain pendant. So to me, that tells me that we should go check out the greenhouse once we're done here.
Now this is interesting, 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery.
So this letter from Emma's mother says that she is the illegitimate child of Montgomery Carlyle. So when that shithead earlier said that he was glad that he wasn't the product of inbreeding, surprise, you still are. This is so means. She has means. It seems like potentially because she has the key. It seems like she has the key to the greenhouse, and we know that it's a plant-based poison. She has motivation. If this was like, it seems like maybe it was motivation. The two younger siblings murdered him, so we do know that that would be motivation because Madame Carlyle, she's dead, and now Zachary was the other sibling that killed her father. This is like maybe a long-term revenge plan. All right, take a look here. So shoes and footprints. So, when we were looking at Emma earlier, she was wearing white, like tennis shoes with her dress, and it looked off, right? It didn't look right. So now shoes and footprints found in Emma and Gregory's room, matching the prints on the terrace outside the sitting room, and they're muddy. So this to be suggests that she has been doing something outside, likely among those plants near the greenhouse, near that swampy area. Now, if she was able to do this, she would have to be able to get in these secret passages. And we know that there's like these little buttons outside the secret passage doors, but it's a mysterious switch and you can't hit it with anything. If this works, I think we have a good reason to suspect it was her. And it does, it works. Now, if we look at the map, so there's a secret room here. Now we have the map that we have, that we picked up from this secret room. And now there's another secret room over here. Let's go check that out.
Identify yourself.
Oh shit. Okay. Hey, don't mind me, man.
Creep. Why you?
Yeah, see, we dealt with that, no problem. All right, so this is the other secret room. And a letter.
An old letter, 47. Never opened. Must have slid under the secret door nearly 46 years ago. It states that Alexa Carlyle's older brother, Montgomery, wanted Alexa to become the heir to the Carlyle Empire instead of himself. Interesting. You're an excellent detective, 47. Uncovering truths half a century old. If you frame it correctly, I believe you could use the information to convince Madame Carlyle that Zachary committed suicide. Maybe you should ask Mr. Fernsby to see her. Or perhaps you feel like digging a bit more.
We're out here now. Let's go. We wanted to check out this greenhouse because she had mud on her shoes. She clearly has the key because she had the pendant, but the key is missing. She must have it. Let's take a look inside this place, see if we can find out if there's anything going on inside here.
I don't believe for a second that Zachary committed suicide.
Subtext is for cowards, yeah.
Yesterday.
Yes, sure. But he was upset believing his sister was dead.
I'd say worried about how things be handled with Gregory and Ellie.
Ah, shit.
War.
Well, let's just take a look real quick. So there's a camera thing. We could scan this.
This is a table showing lethal dosages for the poison used to kill Zachary.
And we can, while we're out here, let's repair this distillery since it's broken, and we can produce the poison if we want. Oh, they're all looking for me, huh? I'm gonna have to load. God damn it! I should be saving way more than this.
An old letter, 47. Never opened. Must have slid under the secret door nearly 46 years ago. It states
wonder if there's like a...
that Alexa Carlyle's older
You know
brother,
what?
Montgomery, wanted Alexa to become the heir to the Carlyle Empire.
Trying to think there's a way to get a
instead of
key
himself.
for that thing, but I'd have to like beat up Emma and take it from her.
You're an
I
excellent
wish I would have
detective, 47.
brought a lock
Uncovering
picking
truths
kit.
half a century old. If you frame it correctly, I believe you could use the information to convince Madame Carlyle that Zachary committed suicide. Maybe you should ask Mr. Fernsby to see her.
Yeah, we see Emma has changed her
Or
shoes. Like,
perhaps
look at
you
those
feel
white
like
shoes.
digging a bit more.
All right, so let's keep digging.
Broken lab
So broken lab equipment.
equipment. It looks like it was recently used, though.
And then there's this book that we could scan. And what does this book tell us?
This is a table showing lethal dosage.
Of course. So the book shows the lethal dosages for the poison that was used to kill Zachary.
Something
So-
is circled 47. Female, age 65 to 79, 60 to 64 kilograms. I'd say Madame Carlyle is next in line for a poisoning.
So
You have uncovered enough evidence to tell Madame Carlyle that Emma is the murderer. Quite the detective.
right. So we know that like Zachary wouldn't need to use this book. He was
I
like
suggest you go to
an expert
Mr.
with these
Fernsby.
plants. He wouldn't need to look it up. But
Unless
also,
you think there are more secrets to uncover.
if he was trying to kill if he was trying to kill Madame Carlyle, like he wouldn't be. He thought she was dead. So why would this book be open to that point in here? Well, Emma has the key. She has mud on her boots. She has motivation, means, and opportunity. Clearly, not only did she do it, like she is the real murderer. You know what? We haven't done everything yet. There's one more room to check. We haven't checked Mr. Fernsby's office.
That is the door to Mr.
And the problem
Fernsby.
is that it was locked,
His
but now
office.
we have a crowbar. So fuck the police. There's a mansion master key. We could have used that. But that means he can get anywhere. So even if the door was locked from the outside, he could have locked it from the outside. Oh, look, he's burning Zachary's diary. That's pretty suspicious.
Zachary's diary. This is big. He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident.
Must have fallen in there by
At
accident.
47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't.
So
write it
Zachary
himself.
definitely didn't commit suicide.
Mr.
He didn't write that
Fernsby
suicide
clearly
note.
Didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough.
And Mr.
evidence
Fernsby,
to convince
the
Madame
poison here
Carlyle
that was in
he
Mr.
did.
Fernsby's office, like Mr. Fernsby seems
Maybe
like
you
he
should
might have
tell
been
him
thinking
you
about
already
killing
present your
Zachary,
findings.
but that poison didn't match the poison that was used to kill Zachary. So Mr. Fernsby didn't do it, but we could make it look like he did. So what we're gonna do now is let's go through all the permutations here of like how we could play this out. So now we're just waiting. But you know, we've actually, to solve this level, we have to take out Alexa Carlyle and we have to find the case file. Basically, we're gonna ask for the case file's payment for solving the crime. So she's just gonna hand it to us. But if you were to kill her first, there's other ways to get that. But we're also gonna try to see if we can use this to create an opportunity to kill Alexa Carlyle, or maybe it'll be even easier. So, I got viewers here. You guys just want to go vote first. Who do you want me to accuse first? You want me to accuse Emma, the actual murderer? You want to accuse Fernsby, the butler? Or do you want me to say
Your
Zachary
detective
committed
skills have
suicide?
gained you access to the
All right, everyone wants the truth. So we're going to accuse Emma. So you can see accuse Fernsby, accuse Emma, accuse Zachary.
Your niece,
Let's start with Emma.
Carlyle, murdered your brother Zachary.
My niece? Emma is not my niece. She's my daughter-in-law.
And your niece. Emma is the illegitimate child of your late older brother Montgomery.
Fucking inbreeding.
Zachary killed 46 years ago.
That's preposterous.
You asked me to find out what happened to Zachary. Would you rather not know?
No. No, go on.
I found a letter from Emma's mother, Jane, who was the fiancée of your older brother at the time of his death. She witnessed how you and Zachary pushed him off the balcony. She believed you did it to steal the Carlyle empire from her and her unborn child. And she raised Emma to reclaim what she lost, marry your heir, Gregory, get revenge, and secure the Carlyle empire for her bloodline generations to come.
Emma is the daughter of Montgomery and that local girl, Jane.
She is.
Well, the girl got it wrong. I didn't steal anything. I I did what was necessary to protect the future of the Carlyles. Montgomery wasn't cut out to take over from Father. All heart and no balls.
Emma used the funeral gathering to speed up her installment as the lady of the house, seizing the opportunity to stage Zachary's suicide. She did her homework, used a poison made from one of Zachary's rare plants, found old floor plans from Thornbridge Manor to gain access to his room through a secret passage.
That scheming bitch.
So this is all what really happened.
I found proof that she will try to poison you next.
Well, I'll have to take care of that. Thank you, Mr. Whitmer. You have not disappointed. I promised you I would reward
So we've
you
also
very
found proof that that she's going to try to poison her next.
So, what do you suggest?
Let's go ahead and get the case file. Let's play this one out. You know, we should see how you can play out each of
But
them.
how do you... Oh, I see. I expected you might show up. But to kill me, not help me. But I've
Sorry,
been
I'm
almost
dropping
like
frames.
this lately, so why not this one? I will give you the file on Edwards. You've earned it.
All right, so she's going to give us the case file. We're just going to take it from her and we're going to leave after we kill her.
I would like to see her dead. No? What a shame. I'll have to see to it some other way then.
Sir.
Sir.
The file you want is in the safe. God, I hope you get Edwards and make him hurt. I need some privacy.
So she needs some privacy.
Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured.
Anyone mind?
Time to take care
I'm
of
just going to
Madam
go visit her real quick. Anyone mind if I just... Whoop. Huh, what happened there?
Mission complete. Well done, 47.
Whoa. She should be more careful. So this time, what should I tell her? Should we tell her Fernsby?
The butler,
I'm gonna do Fernsby.
Mr. Fernsby killed Zachary.
Fernsby.
Go for the butler, yes, that's what we're doing now.
Wrong. He would never do such a thing. He is the most loyal man I have ever met.
I found pills in his office that matches the poison.
Oh,
that killed
Fernie.
your brother. Furthermore,
Old Fernie
I
britches.
found Zachary's notebook, half burned, in Mr. Fernsby's fireplace. It showed that Zachary intended to publish a written confession to a murder the two of you committed nearly 50 years ago. The murder of your older brother.
So we're able to frame him because
Outrageous.
she knows
We did
that she killed Montgomery and that Fernsby helped cover it up. And so if Zachary was really going to admit to it, like he said in his diary,
is assured.
then Fernsby would have motivation. He also had means because he has the master key, and you know he has opportunity because he has poison. She doesn't know it's not the right poison. We can lie and say it is. That's how we get here, and she's like, oh, she accepts it, and then we're gonna get into a similar opportunity here to kill her again.
Good
Right.
work, 47. That's the file
So
on
again,
Arthur Edwards
she's gonna go out
secured.
here.
Time to
I'm gonna
take
follow
care
her.
of Madam Carlyle.
And then I can throw her off the side, of course. Yeah, you get the idea. Let's do the other one. Let's do the last one here. Let's say that Zachary killed himself. Again, we could prove this because it's a plant-based poison. You know, it was locked from the inside, and she doesn't believe that he would kill himself and write in his suicide note that he can't go on without her. But she doesn't know that we know
You've reached a conclusion.
that him and her killed their older brother, and that's what he really means, right? What he really means.
Your brother committed suicide.
I need to see some evidence to believe that, Mr. Whitmer.
Zachary was found dead in a room locked from the inside. He died from a rare poisonous plant he cultivated himself. He believed you were dead, and a suicide note explained that he did not have the courage to go on without you.
That's what I don't buy. I cared for him deeply, but the truth is he hated my guts. My death would not make him commit suicide, I can promise you that.
Perhaps the death of your older brother, Montgomery, then. I have found evidence showing that you and Zachary killed him nearly 50 years ago. I believe that was when Zachary turned recluse. Your brother recently uncovered proof that your past deeds were for nothing. A letter from Montgomery stating that he wanted you, Madam,
Zachary didn't really find this letter. We found this letter, and we're using this to frame the situation to say he killed himself.
you were better suited to the job. Everything would have turned out the way you...
And the letter said that he was going to give up his position to her anyhow, so they never needed to kill him.
Now,
Which, you know,
And you saw this letter?
she believes that Zachary was fragile enough that if he saw this letter, he would feel he would kill himself.
Royally, I fucked up. Mr. Whitmer, I'm sorry. I just need to gather my thoughts.
So now she's...
Right.
Her brother's dead.
Payment for
She
your
killed her older
services,
brother
have
for
we
no reason.
decided on an amount?
Arthur...
And also their family's broke. We haven't like looked into that, but their family's broke.
Arthur
So
Edwards.
she really has fucked
How
up.
do
Her whole
you-
family's screwed.
A last wish from a
Oh, sorry.
last wish from a dying woman. Get Edwards and make him suffer. So long.
So that was different, right? She didn't say a dying woman before. So let's get this. And she asked for some privacy, so let's go out there and get her.
That's the file.
let her get
on
out to the
Arthur Edwards
position.
Secured. Time to take care of Madame Carlyle.
Oh, wait. Huh.
Mission complete.
Even better.
Well done, 47.
Didn't have to touch her. Let's go back to the different save before I talk to the butler. So now, we know that Emma's the real killer. She's a murderer. She's already killed someone. We also know that she used the lab equipment out in the greenhouse to create that poison, and it was broken. But I fixed it.
Your cooperation in
Okay, so she talked to her family, said, hey, I'm still alive, deal with it, bitches. You're gonna still have to have a eulogy for me, still have my funeral. But, let's see, where's everyone going? Hey, Emma, where are you going? Let's follow her.
This is your chance.
Oh, God. I have to finish my eulogy.
So she's gonna use it. She's got some of those plants over there that you can actually use to make the lethal poison. And she's gonna wait for it to come. She picks up the lethal dose.
Emma Carlyle.
Oh, you startled me. I was just, I don't know, thinking about Zachary. He spent most of his life in here with these plants. Not much of a life, is it? Well, anyway, I'll be outside if you need me. If you'd excuse me.
Look at the swerve on that jacket. It's kind of like losing its hold on physics. Don't hit her in the head. What are you doing? Hey, Emma, what are you doing? What are you putting in there? What's that noise? It made a fizzy noise. What are you doing? That was suspicious. Hey, she did something suspicious. She's not dressed as a waiter. If I did that shit, you guys would be all over me. Do your job.
Looking good, man.
You're not.
Good.
You're looking like a slacker. Fucking video game. Part of the household. Oh, okay. Go around putting things in people's drinks just because you're paying your employees and they do what you tell them.
Be quiet, Gregory.
Oh, she's thirsty.
After all, I never would have guessed.
Rip!
Christ's sake.
That's Madame Carlyle taken care of. Time to get the file on Arthur Edwards.
Oh, and she's looking at a picture of her dad while she did it. I've never noticed that detail before. That's a cool video game right there. You know, it's a complete story what they told there. I mean, it's, you know, you got everything. You start the stage. You see a private detective. You know he's there to investigate a murder. You're gonna go take part in it, and you, by the time you're finished, like, you perfectly understand everything that happened. That's cool.
Okay.
You'll never take me alive. I hate all of you. And everyone who works for this family. Ring-a-ding-ding! Tobias Reaper has come for you all! My aim's not very good.
We lost the target.
No! And that is Hitman 3's Dartmoor murder mystery stage.